Hello, everybody. I want to talk about how education can change a life. Most civilized and advanced countries have some form of compulsory education requiring their youth to attend school. Ours didn't start until the early 1900s. The educational lessons during the early years of schooling, often called the formative years, can be the most critical to a child's growth. Some studies have indicated that much brain development occurs in the early years of one's life. The basic purpose of education is to develop an individual's knowledge and skills so that they can participate in society. I go a step further and say our hope in education is more idealistic. It's that through the educational process, the experience, one realizes their responsibility not only to participate, but to contribute their unique talents and gifts to the betterment of others. To contribute. I think that that's what education allows us to do. For countries to advance and prosper, its citizens must acquire the basic knowledge and skills to participate in and contribute to society, to read and write, to obtain and retain a job, to form friendships, to sustain families, to pay taxes, and to provide these lessons that you would follow throughout life. In order to understand these issues and these lessons of the day, and also the concerns of tomorrow, they need the ability to read a newspaper or a magazine. They need to be able to write a coherent sentence and paragraph. They need to be able to convey their thoughts to others and to conduct basic business transactions such as writing a check or filling out an application for credit or employment. They need to be able to be informed and educated in order to vote responsibly, which is a key determinant in sustaining a democracy. And most certainly, they need to provide for their own welfare throughout their life by developing the knowledge, skills, and abilities that can generate an income. But the role of education goes far beyond assisting students to becoming functioning members of society or training them for gainful employment. The lessons and experiences we encounter through the formal educational process are nearly impossible to duplicate. Education exposes us to the past in the form of history, culture, society, sociology, anthropology, politics, mathematics, science, and engineering. We're exposed through these experiences to the various disciplines of not only the mind, but the heart as well. Importantly, though, it is difficult, if not impossible, to know if someone likes something unless one experiences it. This is the reason we study some subject that, at least initially, may seem irrelevant. For instance, art may not appeal to a great number of students. This is, I think, unfortunate, because art allows one to learn the story of the human race through pictures, songs, films, and drama. Those who are not enamored with the subject at least know that art is not a path for them if they don't enjoy it. And if they do enjoy it, they know that that could be something that would be their passion. Here's another example. When my son Gunnar was in the 5th grade, his teacher required each student to participate in a Shakespearean play. The play was performed for the entire school, also the parents in the community. My son played Malvolio in that student's production of Twelfth Night. 2 years later, my daughter Tori was in the same grade, and she played a singing fairy in their interpretation of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Though both enjoyed being in the plays, neither was overly captivated with acting. That was entirely acceptable, even laudable. As part of an educator's responsibility is to present culture in all its breadth and depth. Maybe, just maybe, at some point in the future, one of the components of art or culture will interest a student who will pursue their newfound passion in the arts, whether that be a singer or an actor. They may not have done so otherwise. While acting in the 5th grade play at the school, while it may not have brought great excitement to my children, at some point the same experience may help another student find their passion. To be sure, some of these experiences we enjoy and others are boring and burdensome. Whether we believe these experiences are positive or negative is often beside the point. We learn whether that learning is interesting to us, whether we enjoy the time spent on it, whether it strikes a chord. We learn. We learn something. We learn something that we can do with in the future. This is because the education that we learn can be limitless, as are its possibilities. From being exposed to the passions of one's life to propriety or good manners or class or dignity, education offers its participants the opportunity to pursue a different path, to make a better life. Few other avenues in life other than education can offer the chance for a person to be better, for a community to do better. And for that reason, the pursuit of education remains the principal means that this world can work to become better tomorrow than it was today. My best to you all.